Alright you guys, I'm super excited for today's video. I'm going to be showing you how I achieve my flawless foundation routine and also tips and tricks on how to use the StansOut Beauty Sponge. You guys know I love this thing so much, and I just love using sponges to do my makeup just because it looks so natural and you're really able to press product into the skin while still keeping a full coverage. Before we get into today's video, if you enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and with that being said, let's jump into today's video. Alright, so I have my eyes and my eyebrows done right now, so I look a little bit crazy, but since today's video is focused around the skin, I wanted to have my eyes and my brows done beforehand. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime, and this is just going to help to create a nice even base for the foundation to go over top of. It's just going to help to smooth out my skin and fill in any pores, which is just going to create a very nice blank canvas, if you will, to put on the rest of our makeup. For primer today, I'm going to be using my NYX Angel Veil primer, and I'm just going to apply this to my face with my hands. So the StansOut Beauty Sponge is literally my favorite sponge I've ever used. It has replaced my Morphe sponge. It has replaced my beauty blender. I love this sponge so much just because of how much surface area there is. So it just blends your foundation in so quickly. It is absolutely amazing. I like to use this sponge wet or dry. It is the only sponge that I like to use dry, and it was specifically formulated so you can use it wet or dry, whatever your preference is. So as you can see, this sponge has a lot of different sides to it, which is one reason why I love it. You have these nice triangle sides right here, which I personally love to use these for under my eye. You then have this flat triangle side right here that goes into this flat rounded side, and then you have the curved big side of the sponge, and I like to use this side for my foundation. It is recommended to dampen this sponge the first 3 to 5 times you use it, just to make sure that it's well broken into before you use it dry. So after that, it's your choice whether you want to use it wet or dry. And like I say, I personally always use mine dry because I'm just too lazy to get up and wet my sponge, and I always forget to do it before I'm doing my makeup. So this is like the perfect lazy girl sponge. I am going to go dampen it and then roll it out in a towel, and I will show you how I do that. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is one of my all-time favorite foundations because not only is the finish so beautiful, it looks exactly like skin, but this is also buildable, so you can get anywhere from a medium to full coverage with this. So I'm just going to dot this onto my face here. Cover up these breakouts because my skin has been playing me, you guys. I am not happy about it. So now I'm going to be taking this side right here. I like to just really focus on pressing this into the skin. That's going to help to build coverage. You just really want to focus on pressing the product into your skin, because if you roll the sponge around too much or move it around too much, you can move your foundation, and you can even just see how quickly like this side of my face is blending out. It's amazing. Covering this up here. And I'm kind of trying to avoid my eyebrows, but it really is inevitable, so I will touch them up later if I have to. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is literally how quick I can get my foundation put on and blended out with this. You can tell it didn't absorb too much product. I'm still getting the full coverage out of my foundation, which I love. A lot of times sponges will absorb too much of your foundation, so you have to put on more than you really need, and in turn that makes you use that product up quicker. So this is one thing I love about the StansOut Beauty Sponge, is that it allows me to save money because I'm not using as much product. For concealer today, I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape. You guys already know how much I love this. Personally, I like to use this side of the sponge right here for my concealer and my under eye area. And then I'm also putting some of that down the center of my face just to balance out the highlight, because I don't want a super stark under eye and then having the rest of my face contrast too much with that. For the center of my face, I'm going to use the same side of the sponge that I used to blend out my foundation. What I also love about this sponge is because it's memory foam, you can really squish it and squeeze it to conform to whatever shape you want for whatever area you want. So I like to kind of squeeze this and compact it so that I can get really tight up to my lower lash line. So now that we are done with all of the liquids on the face, we're going to move on to powder. And one of my absolute ways to set my face and to use my powder is with a damp beauty sponge. I prefer using a damp beauty sponge over a brush just because, once again, it really allows you to push the product into the skin, which in turn not only allows your makeup to look more natural because you're really able to push that product into the skin, but it's going to last all day long just because, once again, you're really focusing on pushing that product into the skin and not just sweeping it around. For powder today, I'm going to be using my RCMA No Color Powder. This stuff is awesome because it's only $12 and it comes with a lot of product. What I'm going to do is take, once again, this side of my sponge right here with my powder, and I am going to just press this onto my under eye here and blend it in until the powder is gone. Just really focusing on pressing this into the skin. Some. Let's not mess that up, girl. And you can see how it just looks like skin. It doesn't look like I'm layering powder over top of makeup. It just looks very natural. Alright, and then I'm actually going to pick up a pressed powder with this sponge. The only difference between using a loose powder and a pressed powder with a beauty sponge is that when you're using a pressed powder, you can't really go in and pick up product as easy as you can with loose powder. So really just focus on pressing the sponge into the compact and then just being patient so you can build up enough product and then just going in and pressing that into the skin once more. I kind of like to press and roll for this step. So what I do is I just kind of rolling it off the skin just to really focus on pressing it in and setting the foundation. Now I will dip back into that compact a couple of times just because I'm covering more space than my under eye, but also because this is a pressed powder. I can't pick up as much product as I can if it were a loose powder. Now I'm going to move on to my contour. So for contour today, I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour in the shade Fawn. I'm just going to use a brush for this. I'm just really quickly going to go in and just contour the perimeters of my face. I'm just going to be bronzing with a little bit of my Too Faced Chocolate Gold Soleil bronzer. What I'm going to do to clean up my contour and just create that crisp line again is I'm going to dip back into my RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm going to take the side of my sponge right here and just go in and clean that up. This makes such a difference and this is the perfect shape for that area right there. So I'm just going to go right under my contour right here. And then just bring that down. And I'm not going to let this bake. You can, but I'm just not going to. And then I'm just going to push this into the skin. So you can see I kind of went from just a messy area like this to a nice, more clean, structured look. Now I'm going to apply a little bit of my Laura Geller highlight in the shade Gilded Honey. Alright, and I'm just going to finish up my eyes and my lips, and I will be right back. Alright, you guys, so this completes today's video on my tips and tricks on how I like to use my StansOut Beauty Sponge, and also on how I like to get a nice, flawless foundation look. This is my go-to routine. I do this whenever I want a full coverage, nice, even looking, natural looking makeup. If anything's natural about this, let's be real. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you are interested in purchasing the StansOut Beauty Sponge, which I highly recommend that you do, it is the same price as the Beauty Blender, but it is just so much better, and I just can't believe I never thought these words would come out of my mouth. But if you are interested in purchasing this sponge, I will have a link below in the description to where you can purchase it. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button right down below so you can join the crew. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.